The hottest station in the nation. ZiFM Stereo.
It's Lionel Messi! He scored! The goal the world wanted!
It's time for the biggest sports stories.
It's Neymar trying to feed it through. It's a stretch and it's in! And I can't remember the last time I saw something like this. Extraordinary scenes.
The biggest interviews.
It's more difficult. Obviously, it's more difficult.
And all the analysis right here.
If they play poorly, they come back, they've got all the excuses. They can't have it both ways.
Every weekday, it's my sport, it's your sport. It's ZiFM Sport. Let's join the team for the biggest show in the world of sport on ZiFM Stereo. My station, your station.
And what a weekend of sport it was this past weekend. Celebration at Harare Sports Club as Zimbabwe upended Turkey, who of course billed as the favourites in their Davis Cup. A clash, controversy at Anfield as the referee took centre stage, as many Liverpool fans feel that John Moss denied them all 3 points versus Tottenham Hotspur in the race for Champions League football. Carnage in Casablanca as Morocco put Nigeria to the sword, and of course jubilation out in Minneapolis as the Eagles soared high and the Patriots were brought crashing down to earth. This is ZiFM Sport on a Monday. Chris Gray, Mark Pozzo, Alois Munjira, Barry Manandi, and yours truly, Mike Madoda, joined by Sean Tafiranyika behind the desk. We take a look back at the weekend that was in the world of sport, and we want you to be a part of it. Stay with us until 7 p.m.
And on the home front tonight in tennis, the Zimbabwe Davis Cup team upset the fifth-seeded Turkey to progress to the second round of the Euro Africa Zone Group 2 after winning the doubles rubber at Harare Sports Club yesterday. In cricket, Zimbabwe and Afghanistan resumed their rivalry on neutral ground in the first of two T20 matches in Sharjah tonight. In football, FC Platinum have declared themselves ready for their second dance in the CAF Champions League following the conclusion of their international friendly matches on Saturday.
In our international sports news roundup, we got rugby news where Ireland's scrum half Conor Murray says Ireland's self-belief will hit new heights after Saturday's last gasp triumph over France in Paris. And in NFL news, to be more specific, the Super Bowl. The Philadelphia Eagles acclaimed a first ever Super Bowl victory as they stunned the New England Patriots in a high-scoring thriller at the US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. And in cricket news, former South African batsman Daryl Cullinan has described the Proteas' crushing 9-wicket defeat against India at SuperSport Park in Centurion yesterday as an embarrassment.
And in the beautiful game in Chan, Zakaria Hadraf scored twice as Morocco thumped 10-men Nigeria 4-0 last night as the African Nations Championship final in Casablanca to win the first Chan title in the Premier League. Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp claimed the assistant referee got his wish to be the centre of attention, and after awarding a late penalty in the 2-2 draw between Tottenham and Liverpool at Anfield. Finally, in La Liga, Zinedine Zidane was at a loss for words to explain how Real Madrid threw away a winning position against relegation battlers Levante to draw 2-2 on Saturday.
The Warriors, the Chevrons, the Cheetahs, the Mighty Warriors, and the Sables. From the pool to the track to the field, we are Team Zimbabwe. The Home Front. Local sports news and analysis.
We begin on the home front at Harare Sports Club, where the Zimbabwe Davis Cup team upset fifth-seeded Turkey to progress to the second round of the Euro Africa Zone Group 2 after winning the doubles rubber yesterday. In singles matches, the top seed Benjamin Locke took the first point for Zimbabwe with a 6-4, 1-6, 6-3 victory of Turkey's number 2 Altug Selabalek, and Garaganga then put Zimbabwe into a commanding position following a straight set 6-4, 7-5 win over Turkey's number 1 seed Kern Elek. In the doubles, Locke and Garaganga beat Ekel and Altuna 7-5, 6-3 in a rain-interrupted match. The tie ended 3-1 in favour of Zimbabwe after Turkey got their consolation when Zarb Abergain beat Maluli Sibanda 7-5, 6-4 in the dead rubber. Let's hear from the two Zimbabwe Davis Cup players, Benjamin Locke and Takinai Garaganga, who said the victory over Turkey is a significant result for the nation.
Well, when we got to 5-all, we just said to each other, we got to stop the run. We got to stop the momentum. They were starting to play better. They were serving well. their little group was getting fired up, and we could feel the momentum changing. And so we took our time, relaxed, and we decided to really focus on hitting our spots, playing the basics. And, you know, we got a hold from Takani, and then we both just went for it on the returns. And then once we got that set, I really felt the momentum switch our way. And even though I was nervous during the rain delay, I was very confident we were going to close it out in straight sets. Yeah, we're obviously so thrilled, and it's been an unbelievable weekend for us as a team. I think to beat a team as established as Turkey 3-0, you know, we're really, really happy with that result. And obviously the last point, it's an extremely weird way to finish the tie. You know, I'm not going to lie, it's kind of bittersweet to finish like that. But, you know, if you take that point away, we put ourselves in very good positions to win. And if you keep doing that over a long period of time, then, you know, some luck can go your way. And but, you know, you take that point away, and the whole weekend, I think we performed really well. Takani played unbelievable. And I was so impressed watching him playing, and to play doubles with him was an absolute pleasure. And I think we really helped each other in the pressure moments. And I had so much fun out there today, and I'm just so happy that you know, we could get a win for Zimbabwe and progress into the next round.
Like with tennis or anything you do, it's not like you have a framework of you want to come up. Everybody was asked, what's the expectation of winning? What's the expectation like? At the end of the day, you wanted to win. Whether it's 3-0 or not, I was just working by the day, and this is what it came up to, you know. So I don't really look at it like I'm going to win 3-0, it's going to be 3-2. It's really like expectation. It's we want to win, and however that comes about, is we're pleased with it. At least less stress from everybody, you know. I mean, I enjoyed my match yesterday. I mean, I enjoyed the doubles today. So, I mean, it's good. It's good. This is my first event for 2018, so it's a good way to start the year. And then this is some good momentum when we go from there.
Now, there was a moment of controversy during the doubles. The Turkish team were not happy with Zimbabwe being awarded the winning point to wrap up the tie after Locke's serve hit Altuna's feet on match point. Let's hear from Altuna, who expressed his displeasure over the manner Zimbabwe won the Davis Cup encounter.
It was coming from ground and to my feet, but chair umpire didn't see it. So it was wrong call, but what can I say? It ended very badly. It makes us down a little bit. But Zimbabwean players, Garanganga and Locke played very well. Congrats for them. I hope next time if we play each other would be better match, a more fair match. But it's okay. They use their home advantage. I hope they win the next round as well. Good luck for you guys.
A little bit gracious in defeat in the end, even though a little bit dissatisfied over how it was won. But I mean, come on, guys, it was done and dusted already.
Yeah, it was. And I think we have to look at the law book. And according to the ITF rules, a point is awarded to the server if the served ball hits the receiver, or in double situation, the receiver's partner before it touches the ground. Even if the serve is clearly not going to hit its designated serving area, if the ball hits the player before the ground, the point goes to the server. And it came down to the decision of the umpire. And if you're playing at a venue like Harare Sports Club, where you do not have any technology to aid the decision-making process, I mean, if this was out in Melbourne, if this was in New York, Flushing Meadows, at Wimbledon, or at Roland Garros, the decision would be made a lot faster and a lot quicker, because would have had the video, the footage to assist the umpire in making the decision. In this case, there was none, and you have to go with the decision made by the umpire.
You do,
sadly.
You do, and as he said, the chair umpire didn't see it, and according to his version, Altuna, the ball hit the ground before it hit his foot. However, what the chair umpire saw was the ball hitting his foot. Now, regardless whether it was landing outside the serving area or not, like the rule you just read, that means that the point immediately went to Zimbabwe. And being match point, it called time on the entire match, and also the tie, because that guaranteed us a 3-0 victory.
Controversy aside, let's sweep that aside, because this was a significant victory for Zimbabwe. It means that Zimbabwe are guaranteed of retaining their spot in Group 2, in spite of what will happen in their next tie against Poland in April. And how good was Zimbabwe, Alois, if you consider the very fact that the Turkish players were ranked much higher than Zimbabwe going into this game. So Zimbabwe went into this one as underdogs. If you take a look at the rankings, Cem İlkel 260, Benjamin Locke 463. Altug Chelibelek, 422. Takanyi Garanganga, 502. Those are just examples. So the Turkish players came in with the better ranking.
Yeah, of course, it was actually brilliant performance for Zimbabwe to actually overcome that, because obviously the Turkish, like you're saying, they were ranked better than Zimbabwe. And I don't know, Zimbabweans, we have just taken a lukewarm approach to tennis. We're not very supportive. I think that this victory as well, it actually helps galvanize, the interest in tennis for Zimbabwe. We actually like, oh, okay, guys, we can actually do much better in tennis. Look at how the Turkish players are ranked, and we are like this, so we can actually do much better in tennis. So I think actually that was actually brilliant performance by Zimbabwe.
I think we actually let the side down as media, because I think we could have done a lot more to sort of communicate the ranking. I think we looked at it and thought to ourselves, well, look, it's 50-50. It could go either way. Let's see how it plays out. When in actual fact, Turkey, much higher ranked opponents than Zimbabwe, and Zimbabwe doing the business. This is big news.
Big news for Zimbabwe. And if you want to congratulate our lads, do so on our WhatsApp platform, 0731 168 045. That's 0731 168 045. We're also on Twitter and Facebook at ZiFM Sport.
Hi, this is Benjamin Locke. I'm on the Zimbabwe Davis Cup team, and you're listening to ZiFM Sport.
Okay, we've got a local sports news roundup for you, starting with cricket news. Zimbabwe A went down by 7 wickets to Kenya in the only T20 match played at Mutare Sports Club today. Zimbabwe A posted 110 for 9, and it took Kenya just 14.4 overs to snatch their first victory of the tour after an innings of 113 for 3. Meanwhile, in Sharjah, Zimbabwe and Afghanistan have resumed their rivalry on neutral ground in the first of 2 T20 matches, and it hasn't gone the way of Zimbabwe. Sadly, Afghanistan winning the toss and electing to field, and what a good decision it's turned out to be, because Zimbabwe right now are 95 for 8 after 17.5 overs. 95 for 8. Just taking a look at some of the notable scores, and there aren't many, I can tell you that. Masakadza 18 at the top of the order, 23 balls, strike rate of 78. Not good enough, I say, when you're batting at the top of the order. Solomon Mire, yes, he had a fantastic strike rate of 161.9, making 34 off just 21 balls. But thereafter, it all fell apart. Brendan Taylor, 3 runs. Sikandar Raza, 1 run. Ryan Burl, 8. PJ Moore, 2. Graham Creamer, 3. Waller right now trying to see if he can get Zimbabwe maybe to a respectable 120, 115 type score. He's on 10 not out from 9 balls faced. And of course, he is with Chatara after Jarvis was got out for an LBW by Rashid Khan for just 1 run. So Zimbabwe in all sorts of trouble. Afghanistan, Mark, will certainly fancy their chances of getting over the line in that one.
I think more than fancy their chances, I think this is a foregone conclusion. I mean, this is just a poor performance from Zimbabwe. Absolutely poor. I mean, 3 players have got into double figures.
Yeah.
Not good enough, I'm afraid.
Not good enough, I'm afraid. And let's take a look at basketball results from this past weekend in the Harare Basketball League. Raiders upending Hustlers 58-22. Glenview Rockets losing to Harare City Hornets 69-46. JBC 69, Yada 15. Varsity 50, Cameo 46. We also have hockey results for you. This is Sean Tafirinyiga's favorite haunt on a Thursday and Friday night. Results from the Harare Indoor Hockey League. We suspect it's got something to do with a damsel, perhaps of Indian extraction, to be found somewhere in Belvedere. But we shall find out. Ram Hughes, okay, the lovely names they've got there. 9-0 over the Sunrise Ducks. Sorry. I hope there's no one listening from the Sunrise Ducks. Car Guards, oh no, they were thumped by Chelsea Drifters 17-0. Hockey Club beating UZ second team 8-3. We'll wrap it up with football news. FC Platinum have declared themselves ready for their second dance in the CAF Champions League following the conclusion of the international friendly matches on Saturday. The Zimbabwe League champions played out to a goalless draw against Zambian side Nkana Red Devils in their final friendly match at Mandava in Zhishavane. FC Platinum play their first match in Africa's Premier Club competition away in Angola against Club Desportivo de Augusto on Sunday.
Alcohol may be hazardous to health if consumed to excess. The operation of machinery or driving after the consumption of alcohol is not advisable. Not for sale to persons under the age of 18 years.
To make a great beer like Castle Lager, you need 4 ingredients. The perfect hops, the finest malted barley, the tallest sun-kissed maize, and the purest water. But you need more than that. You also need the best master brewers in the world to bring them together in a way no one else can. To create a taste big enough to satisfy a real African thirst. A taste that is somewhat dry, somewhat bitter, never sweet. It all comes together with a castle.
Enjoy world-class radio online. ZiFM Stereo is available on TuneIn. Search for ZiFM Stereo and you got it.
From the front of the grid to the back of the net, it's ZiFM Sport. International Sports News Roundup, where the world comes out to play.
Six Nations Rugby is first up now. Ireland's scrum half Conor Murray says Ireland's self-belief will hit new heights after Saturday's last gasp triumph over France in Paris. Johnny Sexton's nerveless added-time drop goal sealed Ireland's 15-13 Six Nations win at the start of France. Ireland ploughed through near on 40 phases when Sexton landed the winning goal in the 3rd minute of added time at the death. This came after Teddy Thomas's converted try had stunned the visitors and stolen Les Bleus, the late 13-12 lead. Now Murray saluted Ireland's Six Nations win over France and reckons the team will get stick for celebrating like footballers.
To grind it out like that, to go for the 22 with Hendy claiming that, then Earlsey claiming a cross kick, and then to keep the phases together and keep building pressure and keep getting a bit of go forward and to eventually pull the trigger, and Johnny does his bit of magic. They're the moments, you know, like if you take it on its own, they're the moments you want to play sport for, that kind of feeling when you get a win like that, you snatch a win like that. You know, so there's a good feeling in the dressing room at the moment, and we'll enjoy it. And you know, we do have a bit of work, a few things to repair, and we get better next year.
You know what? You win like that, you are perfectly justified to celebrate like footballers. They did, and in truth, this typifies their moniker of the Fighting Irish. They fought right to the end.
Yeah, they did fight until the end, and I know Johnny Sexton is going to get all the plaudits because he's the man who drops the winning 3 points for Ireland. But you can't do that. You can't take that drop goal, that shot a goal from that distance if it's not for the forwards. The forwards put in the hard yards.
Position,
We're talking about nearly 40 phases of play. That means that the big lads up front were putting in, of course, the hard yards, and they were gaining ground and making sure that they got the ball in the right position or in the right area of the field for Johnny Sexton then to use his talent to get Ireland over the line. So I know he's grabbing all the headlines, but hey, the forward play from Ireland, I thought they were totally dominant at the scrum, at the set pieces, and they got the edge over France, and that's what laid the platform for that winning drop goal.
Past Irish sides we've seen play open, expansive rugby. We haven't known them necessarily for their forward play, so this is a new dimension to Ireland. Pretty ominous sign for this competition, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so, but I think Joe Smith has tweaked a few things with that Irish side, and I rate him as a coach, and I think that's one of the things that they've really focused on is playing the game from the forwards, and that's what they did against the French, because obviously you're taking on the French. You know, as we all know, they are so unpredictable, aren't they?
Right.
I mean, they can come out and blow you away one day, and then the other day they don't show up. So yeah, I thought it was a good performance from Ireland, despite it being a narrow win. I thought they were the dominant side, and yeah, it all bodes well for what should be a very good Six Nations tournament.
Yeah, and for me, CJ Stander again, the man that South Africa let go. He was absolutely outstanding, CJ Stander.
He was.
And there will be a lot of Springbok fans who will be just kicking themselves and thinking, how on earth did the South African Rugby Union let this guy go, considering he actually played franchise rugby for the Blue Bulls out in Pretoria. So a big loss for them. But there were also guys like Peter O'Mahony, I thought, put in a decent shift as well.
Peter O'Mahony.
Yeah.
Peter O'Mahony.
Yeah, put in a decent shift as well. And you have to look at Josh Van der Flyer, who sounds ominously like he's from South Africa as well. Put in a decent shift shift again, playing an open side.
I was just hearing about Van der Fly that I think he's out of the rest for the Six Nations now.
Yeah, that's a big loss. It's a big loss. For a guy who had just been blooded into the team. I mean, that's a huge loss. He made a statement
for him and for the team.
Yeah, he made a statement, and I hope he recovers well enough for him to take part in the matches that are going to be coming up in the winter.
Sure.
I don't know where Ireland is going. Possibly maybe touring maybe New Zealand or Australia.
Right.
But it'll be good to see him on the rugby field.
Right, other results from the Six Nations. England started their defence with a 46-15 win over a determined Italy side in Rome on Sunday. Wales, meanwhile, got their Six Nations campaign off to a winning start with a 34-7 victory over Scotland in Cardiff.
Okay, let's give you the round 2 fixtures. The next round of matches out of Six Nations rugby. It'll be Ireland versus Italy at Lansdowne Road. And then at the home of rugby, Twickenham, England takes on Wales. That should be a humdinger. And there should also be a corker out at Murrayfield in Edinburgh when Scotland take on France. Two sides that lost, two sides that need to win.
Zimbabwe's finest three. ZiFM Stereo.
Around the world in 60 seconds. International sports news.
We begin in the U.S. state of Minnesota, where the Philadelphia Eagles claimed a first ever Super Bowl victory as they stunned the New England Patriots 41-33 in a high-scoring thriller at the U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The Eagles quarterback Nick Foles was named the game's MVP after passing for 372 yards for 3 touchdowns, as well as receiving a touchdown pass off a trick play. Foles becomes the first ever to throw and catch a touchdown in Super Bowl history. Staying in the U.S., a weekend of upsets in the NBA began in Ohio, where the Houston Rockets blew out the Cleveland Cavaliers 120-88 on their home court. The Denver Nuggets beat the defending champions Golden State Warriors 115-108, and Brook Lopez scored 20 points to guide the Los Angeles Lakers past Oklahoma City Thunder 108-104. In South Africa, former South African batsman Daryl Cullinan has described the Proteas' crushing 9-wicket defeat against India at SuperSport Park in Centurion yesterday as an embarrassment. The Proteas were bundled out for just 118 in 32.2 overs. It was South Africa's lowest ever total at home. Touching down in Malaysia, Shubankar Sharma won the Maybank Championship after hitting a final round of 62 to overcome a 4-shot deficit. The 21-year-old trailed leaders Jorge Campillo of Spain and South Africans Dylan Fratelli at the start of the final round, but hit an almost flawless round which included 10 birdies to claim his second European Tour win of the season.
Play of the day, proudly brought to you by Sol Fibronics Fast. Zolon, you deserve to live like this.
Fibronics, get on it, get on it, get on it. Fast broadband, you got it, you got it.
The Castle Lager Premier Soccer League report on ZiFM Sport.
The belly dancers out in Morocco must have made a killing last night as Morocco thumped Nigeria 4-0 in the African Nations Championship final in Casablanca. The star of the night, Zakaria Hadraf, who bagged himself a brace, and they won their first CHAN title. Now the Atlas Lions become the 4th different winner of CHAN, joining the Democratic Republic of Congo, Tunisia and Libya on the honours board after they overpowered the Super Eagles, who played most of the second half with just 10 men. In the third place playoff, Sudan edged out Libya 4-2 via penalties to claim bronze. The clash finished 1-1 in regular time. Zakaria Hadraf, the star of the show, Barry.
Yeah, absolutely was the star of the show. And listen, lethal in front of goal, and also his all-around contribution to the team was excellent. It would be easy for us to say, okay, fine, maybe the turning point of the game was the red card to Peter Moses, but in truth, you could see that there was a Morocco goal coming, long in coming, and there were plenty that were going to open. They hit the bar, the woodwork about twice.
I don't think you can dismiss it as the turning point, sure. Alois, on the basis that sometimes even when a team is better, there's the team that's playing second fiddle may actually be managing the situation, but the problem is when you then remove a man, that completely then spoils the plan, and they are unable to hold on. Nigeria were holding on, but when you remove that man, it meant that Morocco were always going to win that match. There was only one winner once Nigeria went down to 10 men, and they were already a goal down as well.
Yeah, like you saying, they were just holding on. You know, they were underdogs already, and they were playing second fiddle with 11 men. And once they were one man down, the wheels just fell off, my friend. But they were still going to lose. For me, they were still going to lose with 11 men because Morocco were just attacking and they looked like they were more likely to score than Nigeria. And it just so happened that unfortunately the wheels fell off and it was a heavy hammering. It could have been maybe 2-0, 1-0, 3-1, a respectable scoreline. But because they went one man down, it just completely went.
It ended up being embarrassing. And your thoughts, Barry, on that wonderful striker, El Kaabi? 9 goals in this tournament. That is a good return for a tournament.
Yeah, I mean, the previous record was, 6 goals, and he absolutely obliterated it. Yeah, you're playing in a side that's scoring goals, but you've got to then tuck them away, and he certainly did. So I think I'd hazard a guess that I don't think he's going to last the Northern Hemisphere summer transfer window. I think he's going to go into Europe with a minor major league. He's going to break into Europe. He's a talented player.
Alois, I want to ask you this, and perhaps as the last thing we'll discuss regards Chan, the performance of the referee. I want to ask you about referees who change their style and their approach during a match. You know, you've got the referee yesterday who looked like he was content and wanted the match to flow, so he was letting some things go. You know, the little fouls, the small fouls, he wasn't blowing for them, but it looked like he changed his style towards the end of the first half, and in the second half he became whistle happy.
Yeah, you know, sometimes you want to be consistent as a referee. You know, even fans, when we are watching, we want to see uniformity. If this game is gonna be rough and crunch, we want to see the whole match for 90 minutes being that way. But if the referee starts changing the style, then we don't exactly know what is influencing the decisions that he is making. Because if one foul was let go in the first half
and then the same foul
gets a yellow in the second half, then we start questioning the whole style of refereeing or the objectives and all that.
Yeah, absolutely. Keep your messages coming in, guys. Our fan zone is going to be smack bang in the middle of the beautiful game, and no doubt many of you, of course, have got a lot of opinions that you have about the football and what transpired this past weekend, be it on the continent or out in Europe. A reminder of our WhatsApp platform, 0731 168 045. That's 0731 168 045. Twitter and Facebook at ZiFM Sport.
Michael, the fellow who dissed your abilities in accent impersonation.
His name speaks Scottish.
His name is Ryan Madewell, and he has sent us a message and said, challenge accepted. So we're just waiting for the voice note, and once we get it, we're going to play it live.
And he's a big Liverpool fan, if I know if it's the right Ryan Madewell.
It's Ryan Madewell.
He's probably going to look for his uncle who does a very fine Scottish accent right now.
From Scotland.
I'm looking for Mike Madora.
Yes, he's looking for his uncle. Now, I'm not going to buy it. If you were that good, buddy, you'd have sent us your voice note immediately. Come on.
All right, let's see how this goes.
From Rufaro to Barberfield, Mandava to Nyamunga, all the perfect moments in the Castle Lager Premier Soccer League come together on ZiFM Sport. The big leagues, the big teams, the big players. The beautiful game on ZiFM Sport.
We start with football, and Arsene Wenger was impressed by the full but displays of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and Henrik Mkhitaryan, as both had an impact in Arsenal's 5-1 win over Everton. The new arrivals needed just 6 minutes to mark their arrival as the pair combined to allow Aaron Ramsey to tap in the opening goal of the contest. Lauren Koscielny added the second, and Ramsey struck again before the close. The friends then combined for Aubameyang to score on his debut. Let's hear from Aubameyang and Mkhitaryan.
Yeah, of course, I was really happy. As you say, we won the game on the first half. Second was a bit different, but we are all happy today.
it was really good. I'm very happy for that, not only because I was assist above it as well, Aaron. I think well-deserved win. We have to keep doing the same to win the next games and to think about how to get more points. We played a very good attacking football in the first half. In the second half was a bit hard because we were leading already 4-0 and I think we were more not focused as in the first half, but I can say that I really like the way that Arsenal plays and I hope to do my best.
So his teammates at Dortmund, Aubameyang and Mkhitaryan racked up 121 goals and 80 assists between 2013 and 2016.
Yeah.
Is this a combination, boys?
Yeah, this is a combination. Arsenal looked different. Arsenal looked very confident and looked like they were enjoying their football. And I think you'll find out that a lot of teams will be looking at Arsenal and thinking, hang on, this looks like a better Arsenal side than the side that was in December or just playing 3 weeks ago. They've got guys who are creative. They've got also guys who can finish now. So it'll be very interesting. But for me now, questions around Arsenal will be, do they have a good enough defense to prevent teams or to keep teams out? Because the one thing that they have is a lineup that can deliver assists and goals.
They certainly do. And if I was a headline writer, this morning the papers would read, Arsenal have their ammo. A-M-O. That's Aubameyang, Mkhitaryan and Ozil. I felt that they combined very, very well. And looking at in attack going forward, they look 100%. I think now, if any investment needs to be made in the winter transfer window, I think in the summer transfer window, it needs to be made in defence, as you quite rightly point out. Keep teams out. And listen, Arsenal's got a chance.
Have they had the best transfer window, Alex?
Yeah, I think they've benefited from this transfer window. They did well in the market, I think when you look at Mkhitaryan, I think it was by default, but I think he fits in, with what they have got at Arsenal. That combination with Oba, I think is actually like a hand in glove.
And it's a coach who trusts him now.
Yes.
Who believes in him.
Yes.
And plays him in his right position.
Yeah.
Exactly. And this is a combination that was made at Dortmund, and it's coming back. They had the combination when they were actually successful at Dortmund, and they did well, and they feel comfortable with each other. I think that is actually a plus. But for the first time, in a long time, I actually enjoyed watching Arsenal play football and going forward. They actually did well. You could actually, forgive me for this. Aubameyang, I think he is the attraction for me. He is the one who made me want to watch Arsenal because I'm a BVB fan, and I wanted to see how he was going to do. And they did so well.
Integrated seamlessly.
Yeah, exactly. So it was actually good. I think he made a very good move going to Arsenal. They play his kind of football.
Right, looking at the other results from the weekend before we go to Anfield, Burnley 1, Manchester City 1, West Bromwich Albion 2, Southampton 3, Brighton 3, West Ham 1, Leicester City 1, Swansea 1, Mares still AWOL, Bournemouth 2, Stoke 1, Manchester United 2, Huddersfield Town 0, Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 1. Let's go to Anfield.
Indeed. Now, Jurgen Klopp claimed the assistant referee got his wish to be the centre of attention after awarding a late penalty in the 2-2 draw between Tottenham and Liverpool. Harry Kane had already missed a penalty before scoring the second during a 2-2 draw in which referee John Moss and his assistant were in the thick of the action. In added time, Salah had managed to weave himself past three defenders to lash a shot into the roof of the net to put Liverpool 2-1 up. But when Virgil van Dijk caught Eric Lamela with an attempted clearance, the assistant referee flagged to award the penalty, and Kane did not miss second time around. Now, Jurgen Klopp was unimpressed with the two penalties awarded to Mauricio Pochettino praised his team's character after their late goal rescued a point.
Yeah, it was clear. Two sides, high quality, both wanted to win desperately, obviously, and so that made the game. But the result was massively influenced by, I would say, lightsman decisions. So that's it. And how always we have to take it. That's how it is.
I was calm and relaxed. I am a little bit ill. I am cold and difficult and sorry because my voice gone. But I think it was an amazing game. A great game to see, to watch for everyone. I think two teams that always trying to play an exciting football. I think we were better after 90 minutes, much better. I think we deserve maybe to win. I think we dropped 2 points, but that is football, and the most important, the character and the performance was amazing and fantastic for the team.
And I think the interview there by Jurgen Klopp, I think, sums it up quite well in the sense that it's very difficult to take, not only for Liverpool players, but Liverpool fans as well, because it's a draw that feels almost like a defeat, given the intervention of John Moss and his assistant.
Yeah, of course, the two contentious decisions being the two penalties that were awarded to Tottenham Hotspur. Again, I think it opens the offside debate, the first one, as to when do you say that a player is offside?
When
because
you flag him,
the pass was clearly intended for Harry Kane, who's like 1.5 yards offside. And then, unfortunately, Lovren then touches the ball, and then the law says that he becomes automatically active. But if the pass was intended for a guy who's an offside, why punish the team that's defending?
That are doing their job.
Yeah, for because you can't say that Lovren should have just let the ball pass. Because his job as a defender is to try and defend that ball. And Kane is obviously stealing a couple of yards. But for me, what the problem is for me is then not the fact that the penalty was given, but the communication that was made between the assistant and the referee. Where the assistant says, "Listen, it's offside to me."
Yeah.
Did he touch the ball? Do you know what John Moss said?
What did he say?
I don't know.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
So
that changes everything.
The assistant then says, because Sky has got the footage, and they've released the audio. Then the assistant says, if he didn't touch the ball, that means you have to chalk it off. And John Moss says, he then talked to the fourth referee and says, do you have anything on TV? That guy obviously...
I heard that. I heard.
Do you have anything? Have you seen anything on TV? Now, that's not VAR. That's him just saying, have you seen anything from the screens that are obviously on the line? That guy didn't respond.
That's inadmissible, though.
Yeah, he didn't respond. Yeah. And then he says, I'm sticking with it. It's a penalty. Therefore, there's something wrong with that communication.
Do me a favor.
How do you then say, if the assistant is questioning the validity of the goal? Then you've got to consider that.
You've got to consider it, and also I think benefit the benefit should go to the defending team, because here you're deciding a football match on a decision you are unaware of.
But here's the thing: we can chalk that one aside because it was saved.
It was saved, yeah, fine.
Then the second one, you know where all debate ends, and I know Alois wants to weigh in. Lamela was offside.
And why aren't you letting me weigh in?
No, because who's got your mouth strapped shut? Talk. The mic is in front of you. And here's the thing: for me, you know where all the debate ends?
Lamela was offside.
Let's hear what you have to say.
The first one. We go to the first one.
Yep.
No, the first one we've agreed that
it's irrelevant. It was saved.
Yes, but we still need to clarify that he was not offside.
I'm sure we have done that. We did that.
Do you agree that Kane was not offside?
According to the rules.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's why, Alois, if you were listening,
that Kane was not offside, then we.
Were you listening? I said the bone of contention is in the communication that was made between the assistants.
You were querying the intention of the pass. There was a statement that you said the pass was intended for Harry Kane.
I then said, be that as it may.
Okay.
If he touches the ball, he makes Kane things. So that's why I said, if you were listening, you would have understood what I then said.
So we agree that was
the second one. The first one is okay.
The second one. Do you agree that the guy was kicked?
No, he was offside.
Was he kicked?
Lamela was offside.
In what instance? At what instance was he offside?
When the ball was headed to him. He's in an offside position. Yeah.
If you say if that's the case,
let me do this. And what we're going to do is we're going to put this on the ZiFM Facebook page and Twitter feed. It's got the line that's drawn, and it shows Lamela was offside. So doesn't that negate?
So he's coming back from an offside
position. Doesn't that negate any talk about whether he was kicked or not?
Yeah, that I wouldn't argue with you at all.
Yeah,
because
does it not fall squarely at the door of the same assistant referee?
Then if you missed that offside, then it negates the kick. But a lot of people are arguing that it was a soft penalty because the guy was like softly kicked. No, he was kicked. He didn't dive. He was kicked.
Okay, Alois is looking at the picture
my God.
with the line drawn, and now you need to confirm. You need to confirm for all the listeners that Eric Lamela was offside. Go on, Alois.
No.
Oh, come on,
No,
Alois.
you wasn't.
No,
Okay.
he's offside.
Okay, guys.
He's
look,
offside.
Let's be honest here.
Let's not argue
Sean,
against football.
Look at
football
this line.
evidence.
As a linesman, 20 meters away, where do you draw that line and actually see that that guy was offside?
20 meters away.
Exactly.
All right. And then
20 meters away.
Let's
guys,
okay,
come on.
can I use that argument?
Do you want our assistant referees to come in with a meter rule and measure those things?
Okay.
Those guys are in line.
Can I answer? No, they're not in line. Don't lie.
They are in
We are going
line.
to post it on thing.
Yes,
we're going to post it.
They are
Alois,
in
can
line.
I ask you this?
And when
Can I
do you
ask
know
you
the
this?
rule is when you are in doubt, advantage attacking player.
Okay, can I
when you're in doubt,
can I ask you this?
advantage attacking player.
Can I ask you this? Can I ask you this?
Yeah.
I'll grant you that.
Yes.
You are talking about the fact that the linesman is how many meters away?
20 meters
In fact,
away.
he was actually more than 20 meters away. He was about 35 meters away.
Yes.
How does a linesman, right, who's 35 meters away, see an incident better than a referee who's 10 meters away?
Which incident?
The
Lamela penalty.
incident.
The kick.
Yes.
And wait, do you know that the kick was actually behind Lamela? That means the linesman, if you see the footage, is looking at Lamela and not Van Dijk is actually behind Lamela.
Yeah.
How is he able to conclusively make a decision from 35 meters away that the referee
John
who's
Moss
10
had
meters
chalked
away
off?
chalked off?
Did he make a mistake on that?
No.
Was it a mistake?
No. You are talking about being conclusive.
Was it a mistake?
The debate is still out.
No, we are talking about a line. This is like an optical illusion.
No, we've moved away from that. We've moved away from that. We're talking
a
about the
line and a kick. Those are two different things.
I don't agree it was a kick.
We're looking at a line,
We're
which is
moving
not
on.
which is difficult. Yes, we take that
So
out.
this guy
but a kick, you
he can see
that
through people.
That you can.
John Moss
kick.
is
This guy was
Lamela made
kicked.
of glass.
Hold the
He
phone.
was kicked.
John Moss, the referee, the center referee.
But did he
was-
make a
Hold
mistake on the
phone.
kick?
Hold the phone.
My argument, did he make a mistake on the kick?
Hold the
Was
phone.
the guy kicked?
John Moss, who was 10 meters away, felt that the awarding a penalty would have been soft. He chalked it off. He actually
there's nothing
swiped,
like,
he
there's
swiped his
n-
hands
there's nothing
and
like
said
a
that
soft
it's not a
kick.
penalty.
We don't know what he thought about it. He thought maybe the player
He
was not
swung
kicked.
his
He dived.
arms.
He thought the player died.
Okay, time
He
is
was
running out.
closer. He
Time is
thought
running
that
out.
the player dived.
I'm going to press pause. This is obviously a debate between Liverpool fans and a Manchester United fan.
No, there's nothing to do with Manchester United. That was Tottenham that was playing against Liverpool.
And you guys having lost to Tottenham in midweek, but I'm just joking, Alois.
I would have loved Tottenham to lose in the top five.
I'm just joking.
The fans are heavily weighing in. Arthur says Harry Kane is interfering with play. If he's not there, Lovren doesn't play that ball. He's offside. Those are the thoughts of
let's just hear the message.
Busi and Bulawayo says both were penalties, guys. The first was the keeper should have been sent off. In the second one, Van Dijk did kick Lamela.
No, he wasn't. No.
There's a soft call that he was the last man, and so
No, the ball was going into the
the ball was going away from goal. When the ball goes away from goal, you don't get a red card.
You don't get a red card. Okay, the messages keep streaming in. This one says that I'm a Liverpool fan and this has left a sour taste in my mouth. You don't give us your name, just streaming down there.
So lots of messages. But anyway, guys, we'll move on because we just have to give a couple of other results. For me, I'll say this. All the controversy, despite which side of the fence that you sit, whether penalty, not penalty, for me, it's kind of like taking the focus away from a fantastic performance by Mohamed Salah and a cracking goal by Wanyama. We are not talking about
We're not
Wanyama.
even talking about those two.
And people for me have got the nerve to talk about Harry Kane and his mental fortitude because he scored a second penalty.
Nah.
Come on.
Yeah.
The stars of the show.
Let's not take away from the stars of the show.
The stars of the show were, for me, Mohamed Salah and Wanyama.
You know what, guys? We witnessed two possibly the best goals that we have seen in a very long time. Could be even contenders for goals of the season. And I'm talking about 2018. We're at the beginning of the year. And we're
100%.
not even mentioning them.
Salah's goal.
Mohamed Salah, Messi is the only one who does that.
Yeah, you see, when it's Messi that does that, it's worldwide headline news. But here we are clouding it with an offside decision here and there.
Yes.
But we are walking away from an exquisite goal. I couldn't believe it. How did he get out of there? You know, it looked like he was blocked. he had nowhere to go, but he weaved his way, and the finish, the way he
Sublime.
that he weaved it over. Sublime. That's what we should be talking about, but we actually overcrowding it, overpowering it, and just overshadowing it.
Having banter, man. Come on. Anyway, let's just give you quick results from the continent in La Liga. Zinedine Zidane at a loss for words. Real Madrid throwing away a winning position against relegation battlers Levante to draw 2-2. Other results: Real Sociedad 5-0 victors over Deportivo La Coruña. Eibar 5-1 victors over Sevilla. 5 seems to be the key score in those two matches. Real Betis 2-1 over Villarreal. Deportivo Alaves 2, Celta Vigo 1. Getafe and Leganes in a goalless draw. Girona beating Athletic Club of Bilbao 2-0.
And then just going to Italy in our Serie A roundup, Gonzalo Higuain scored a second half hat-trick as Juventus routed Sassuolo 7-0 to keep the pressure on Napoli in the Serie A title battle. Leaders Napoli did not slip up, winning 2-0 at rock-bottom Benevento to maintain their 1-point advantage at the top.
And finally in the Bundesliga, Bayern Munich continued their march towards a record extending 6 successive Bundesliga title with a 2-0 win at Mainz on Saturday to go 18 points clear.
That's all we have for you on today's show. Do catch us tomorrow 6:05, and no doubt we'll continue the debates about the contentious calls in Europe. But that's what I think makes a beautiful game what it is, and that's why for me VAR may not be something that I entirely embrace, because I love the debates that we can have and the robust decisions and the robust discussions we can have around controversial decisions. When VAR steps in, this is going to stop.
Yeah, indeed. And before we go, quick one. Guys, we were robbed, it says. What happened at Anfield is pure thievery by a notorious cabal, a shameless, delinquent clique of unashamed maggots. That's the pain that football fans feel. May God richly bless you. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Manandi, out.
Be sure to catch ZiFM Sport every weekday on ZiFM Stereo. My station, your station.